lover? Do you love tales of action and heroism? Then Darling, Mercy Dog of World War I by Alison Hart may be just the title for you. This historical fiction tale takes place in 1917 in Europe during World War I. Our main character, Darling, was part of a loving family in the village of Cosham, England. Darling was a mischievous dog, often running off, chasing sheep, and stealing bones from the local butcher. But her family loved her dearly. Young Robert and Catherine would often cover up the fact that Darling had been out and up to no good to avoid mother and father from trying to get rid of Darling. With the matter of war growing more and more pressing, Robert and Catherine's father was eventually called up to the military and forced to go to war. At this point in England, there was something called a dog tax. A dog tax was a fee that owners of dogs had to pay. The tax was put into place to help support the efforts for war. A few months after Robert's father went off to war, Robert received a letter. It was from his father stating that the dog tax had gotten just too high and they would have to get rid of Darling. His father had already made plans for Darling to be picked up and to be trained to become a war dog. Darling was going off to war. After a train ride that seemed to take forever, Darling finally arrived in the town of Shoeburyness. It is here that all war dogs were being trained. Darling was being trained to become a messenger dog. Messenger dogs delivered messages to other soldiers during the time of battle. Messenger dogs often delivered messages 3 times as fast as a human could. During Darling's final training run before going off to war, there was an accident. Her handler, Sergeant Hansen, suffered a leg injury and could no longer move. Darling quickly sprung into action and got the attention of other soldiers, leading them back to Sergeant Hansen and saving his life. It was then that Darling had a new assignment. She was now a mercy dog. In the spring of 1917, Darling and her handler, Sergeant Hansen, were shipped to Belgium. They were going to the front lines of the war.